Whew. Where am I?
You're right there.
Right there.
Right there. And we're live.
Hello. Just swallowing my dinner.
So we'll see if we get a count this time. Hopefully everything works out. I think I'm better now this time than last time. But
Lisa's already on.
no, that's leftover.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
Well, I between our 12 weeks to hardiness live and this live, I went out and chopped some firewood. Got my body temperature.
Yeah, you took off some of your layers.
Well, I took off 3 layers when I got, I guess 4. I took off my coat first. I mean, I always do that when I come in the house, but I was layered up even to be in the house, and 3 layers had to come off because as I sit here, I got hotter and hotter and hotter.
We have no views, so something's not correct. I mean, just, I don't know.
We're public, we're everything. I don't know what to tell you.
Slurped that water.
Yeah, it was quite a slurp. That was.
Sorry.
So maybe everybody got tired of us on the other.
Let me just go over here really quick while you talk.
Yeah, go take a look. Be sure we're up and about. So.
Yep.
Not seeing anybody joining. So 0 watching.
Something's weird.
Something's not working. Despite me thinking we're right. So, oh, Brenda's here. Okay. Brenda says she's not tired of us. So
I'm not tired of her either. Okay, yeah, we're up with her.
Hey, Dolly, how you doing?
Whew, I'm tired.
So you got it there. You sitting too close.
I was doing tomorrow's video the entire afternoon.
She's been working hard on it.
Well, it's physical.
Yeah,
it's in the kitchen. It's been a long time since I've done a video from the kitchen. So tomorrow is prepare all your staples day for your food, for your meals. So I did it today so I could show it tomorrow.
Dolly, a nasty cough is not a good thing.
Oh, this illness that's been going around, we're just trying to keep it out of our house.
What did you do between the videos, Rinda?
I packaged up all of the staples that I had made, put them in food saver packs, cleaned up the kitchen, part of it. That was a lot of dishes when you cook for a whole week or 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm tired. You chopped wood?
I chopped firewood. That's why 3 layers are now off. It's warm. It's hot in this house now.
So.
But anyway.
Time
well spent.
Hello, Chris. So we've had, I believe it's Casey that is usually on here from Australia.
Oh, Carrie. Could be Casey.
Anyway,
I thought it was Corey.
Corey! It's Corey that's usually on here. And I'm going to talk about the Vortex, Dolly. They were talking about that something happened on the Arctic with the melting that shoved that vortex down here to be super cold. And in Australia, they're having record temperatures. So when he's been on here saying they're 115, they've been 120 down in Australia.
Oh, wow. So it like pulled the heat up to them somehow?
Down to them. Are you putting whole meals away or parts? I'm doing parts of meals.
She's doing her own processing.
Yes, you can eat processed food as long as you're the one that processed it. So
yeah.
How's the Vortex treating you, Dolly? We actually have only been 2. That's as low as we got.
Down to 2. So
it was way colder than we're used to.
Well, yesterday there was a bit of wind, so with the temperature being below 10 and in the wind, it really felt cold. But last night it was still cold but there was no wind.
We could not get warm in bed.
Although in the house,
we couldn't get warm. Yeah. It was just like, okay, I'm cold clear through.
Enough about the weather.
Well, no, she asked about the vortex. I want to know how it treated them up in Washington. My son in Washington, right by Portland, said they were toasty warm.
Yeah.
So that's good. Anyway, sadly, we had a baby goat born this morning when the temperature was minus 25.
Where are you, Chris?
We saved one of the 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that breaks my heart. I'm really scared about that. We are below. Okay, so they're not too bad. Brenda's below at 0 at night. Had 5 during the day before the wind chill.
Okay, yeah, a little cold in Illinois this last week.
Yeah. Yeah. We only had another skiff of snow, really. We have just been so blessed. We're right below where they're just getting pounded. Well, like last night, when I looked at our temperature, we were 13 or 14, and Kansas City, 2 hours north of us, was 5.
Oh, okay.
So there's quite a difference in those 2 hours.
So we'll be glad about our 14.
Yeah, I was glad about my 14.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
So I guess I could try to look at it this way. Then
it's right there. It's just tiny.
Hey, yes. Glad to see her back on. So anyway, we had I don't know how big our audience was. We were on at 3, and instead of it being private for our students, it went live for everybody. So we had a bigger audience. It was really fun, actually. Yeah, so Chris, were you there for the births, or they were born before you got to them? Hi, Laura. So that's so sad. That's so sad.
You know, Chris, I think a lot of people hear it and they say, that's just how it goes on the farm. But, they miss the point that, even whatever kind of animal it is, I mean, this is part of your family. And it's painful. I mean, it's a big deal. And
you
a lot
were
of folks don't
there and still couldn't save it because it was just too cold. 25 below is 25 below. We had a video that came out today that didn't show anything. We had gotten 25 chickens saved them from a factory chicken place. 2 of them were dead this morning.
Yeah, some of them are pretty ragged looking when we got them. I don't know what all they've been through, but it hasn't been that good. So it's only going to get better from here. All this weather's not helping, but
it'll get better the rest of the week. We're going to the 60s. I mean, well, all over the nation they are doing that. They said there's going to be like 120-degree temperature change between what it was there and
But for these chickens, the conditions they've been in, at the best, it's been like a run that is just frozen mud, that kind of thing.
Marianne's here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we're good. We got it in our water. We're in great shape, Marianne. Thank you,
Marianne. I even made a little video showing. She sent us lemons, and we got them today. The mail lady brought them right to our door. Thank you so much.
Anyway, these, for a few days, we're going to be keeping them in the coop.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so very much, Laura.
We're going to be keeping the chickens in the coop where they are so they get used to the place, and then we're going to let them free range, which is not something they've had in the past. Right. And they're going to love the freedom. And with the increased niceness of the weather, there's going to be a lot more for them to deal with, so it'll be fantastic.
It's because they were wet when they were born. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was White House on the Hill that had a rooster. Yeah, that got startled and died. I saw that. What did we miss up there? Been giving a rabbit and chicken warm water. We've been giving all of ours warm water.
Yeah, just watching the water, being sure that it's clean and liquid.
Yeah, those were chickens that died, not goats. We do have a bit of possibly good news. Not that it's good news. We lost another Delaware, but I did some major calling around today. Missouri Extension Center does not help with figuring out what's wrong with your animals.
Not the 2 counties you called anyway, that's for sure.
But I ended up calling where we got them in Lebanon, Missouri, and they did a lot of research for us and asked a lot of questions, and they're pretty sure, since it started when they were little babies, that they got the coccidiosis. How do you say it, Jim?
I don't know how I say it.
Coccidiosis. Anyway, so I asked what to do about it, and they said to they asked if we were putting apple cider vinegar in their water, and we said yes, and they asked how much. We said we were putting in a couple tablespoons in a gallon, and she said that's not nearly enough. You need to put in 1/3 of a cup per quart for them for now anyway, and that will, within 2 weeks, cure them. That's what she said, right?
Yes.
And we're not to give them any corn or scratch or anything like that. And we're trying to keep them warmer because the temperature swing makes the illness come back. And also said once they have it, their intestines may always have some poor intestines as far as them being completely healed the way they would be if they hadn't had it or not. There's no reason why we got it or how we got it. But anyway. So you're typing now and talking.
Yeah, well,
huh?
I'm getting...
Yes, Dolly, that's correct. You said it correct. Coccidiosis. Coccidiosis. Yeah, see? There, I did say it. You can also add, let me see what she's saying. Garlic, yes. And you know, the people, it was interesting because she says, don't add anything else to their water. And I says, well, I've had garlic and oregano. She goes, no, don't put that in. And then I go and look up everything to do for them, and it says, make sure you're doing garlic and oregano. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, people with experience, like the website you went to, it was a lot better choice. You know, some of the advice you get from other places, they've read the books, right? So, yeah, it's not bad advice, but it's better when you go to somebody with decades of experience, with thousands of chickens that they are taking care of personally. And I really trust the person that we listen to, Lisa.
So, anyway, yes, I have not had garlic or oregano or anything in theirs for a really long time. Lebanon is sort of a long ways away. 60 miles.
It's Lebanon, Missouri.
It's 50. It's 50 miles from us, but where we went and got our, right? That part is about 50 miles. Yeah. Just the medical mindset. Yeah, I know. Versus the natural. Absolutely. I was surprised they told me to do the apple cider vinegar. So hopefully we get that straightened out, and then we won't lose any more. It explains though why the little black what is that one? The golden Wyandotte.
Yep.
It's healthy and
yeah,
gorgeous. You guys, it's so beautiful. We put the nesting box in there today. We should start getting eggs soon.
So hi, Cynthia.
Hello, Cynthia.
And Linda.
Yeah, terrible cold temperatures up north. I was thinking about a month ago on New Year's Eve, when the nation was having some of their coldest temperatures. When we got to Pittsburgh, it was -7. And today, Pittsburgh was -7 at the particular time that I was looking at it. And so I was like, oh, it's deja vu, only a month later. For new chicks or struggling chicks, we always...
So, Chris, you know, you're bringing up what I think is a topic worthy of doing some sharing on. You know, for all children, whatever the age, but it sounds like yours are mature enough so they really understand what's going on, and especially with special needs. You know, it's tough to understand that, but I think as they live through it, they come out a lot healthier emotionally than children who never get exposed to it. They don't understand life and death very well, and the meaning of it, and how to cope with it. It helps them a lot. It's tough to explain it to them and help them understand at the time, But I guess if anybody has advice or techniques to help,
did you see what Willow Creek did this week? They had lost a goat, their main goat, and then the kids had lost one of their bunnies, and it's frozen ground, and they couldn't do anything to bury the goat, and so for several days they just kind of had it put away somewhere where it wasn't right out there. But yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I guess, they put he pulled as much snow back as he could and put the goat and the bunny on the pallet and then stacked a bunch of wood over it. And they stood there as a family as they set it on fire, and it went clear down to the ashes. And they felt like they had honored them a little bit more by being able to give them a proper goodbye and a proper way to do it. I thought it was a really nice thing to do. I'm missing things.
Okay, no, that's great, Jay and Dolly. You're absolutely right. What Dolly is saying.
I want to read what
kids are resilient, and so if you can explain it in a gentle and a proper way, and Jay's suggesting a book. I don't know anything about the book, but I can imagine. It's the kind of book that can. It's not just you saying it. Sometimes
lifetimes.
Sometimes mom and dad are try as they might. There's all kinds of other history, but if they hear it from somebody else, depending on their age, they can accept it a lot easier and understand it a lot better.
It's okay.
But the earlier they get exposed to it and have it explained and deal with it, I think the healthier emotionally they become about it. And not that you ever get over it. I'm not suggesting you get over it, but I don't think you take it in stride, but you understand how to deal with it. You understand how to interpret it, and what the Willow Creek folks did. I mean, that you got to honor them. You got to be thankful for them and express that in some manner. So it really helps.
Okay. Yeah, we it's been interesting as we've watched our grandkids be around animals. 3 or 4 of them have become vegetarians, and they said, we don't want to know our animals, and that's been hard for us because we don't want to know that we're eating something we don't know. And in fact, we had some children come over here today, and they were picking up some boxes that we had, and they says, well, where's the pigs? And I says, well, they're not here anymore. They're on our table. And they're like, oh, okay. Because they were here to help with the chickens when we process the chickens. So anyway,
I think it makes a big difference when kids see a purpose. I mean, we have some grandchildren who thinking about taking an animal's life so that you can eat, it turns them off from wanting to eat meat. And I think that's a reaction that a lot of people have. But I think it's better for them to recognize what's going on and not just to blindly do it, and not even consider that somebody's had to do that. Some animals had to go through whatever they had to go through to get there. So, but still, it's a tough one to understand for some.
Yeah.
Valerie from Michigan.
You're cold.
From Zero to Homestead. Do we know those folks?
I don't know.
That's a
okay.
New name. Okay.
We'll have to go and look at you.
Welcome.
Welcome. Where are you at from Zero to Homestead? I would love to hear the story behind that name.
Yeah, Mercedes.
And Mercedes. Anyway, Brenda was saying some things up there about her foster children and stuff. So that they just need to go down a little here, down low.
Oh, okay.
Acknowledges their worth. That kids need that affirmation of value.
Yeah, it does matters a lot.
5. Let's see.
Oh, Green Gables.
Anyway, so we talked about having the chickens. Figured that out. We're looking for our homestead in southern Indiana. I hope so soon.
Cool.
Love getting information from your channel.
Hey, we are happy to share. It was a journey for us, and certainly if we can provide anything that helps somebody in the decision process, that's great. I know there's a lot of good information from a lot of other folks. But you know,
Southern Indiana, we're going to be neighbors.
Yeah, it's well, you got a state between here and there.
Well, up north, Illinois is first, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Illinois.
You
is
remember?
first.
You've been through Illinois
I've been
enough.
through Illinois.
It's a whole state.
It's a whole state. Anyway.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been I just barely had somebody on send me a message that they have moved to here in Missouri 2 months ago. And then I had another person who said that they live in Missouri and they've started their homestead, and not that it is affirming to us that we should have been here, because anywhere you can go and have it is a great place to do it. Except we have one person who lives in Connecticut, and her children all live in Connecticut, and it's just too expensive to get a homestead in Connecticut.
I can
and
imagine.
We know that.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, well, just try to get a home as big as you can with land, with a backyard that you can actually grow something on.
So Cynthia, who's going to Indiana, is actually from Arizona. So.
Oh, well, so am I.
Yeah.
What part of Arizona?
That's what Dolly's asking.
Oh, I came from Mesa.
Scottsdale.
So, okay. Born and raised, hubby from Indiana.
He wants to go back home. Well, that may be a good choice if you want a homestead. So.
Yeah. We used to live in Navajo Indian Reservation.
Oh.
Really? My grandpa was on the Indian Navajo Reservation for years. Really different from pretty much anywhere. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Tamara's on. Hello, Tamara. So.
Sedona. Yeah, that's quite a place.
She was
Dolly.
in Sedona?
Dolly was, yeah.
Oh, Sedona's like a little piece of heaven.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi from Chicago. She's really cold. 4 feet of snow, I heard. Lake effect coming your way.
The new Antarctica.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah. It's just...
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little hard not to talk about the weather today. I mean, there's been so many accidents and terrible things happening. So Missouri is loaded with some really awesome homesteaders. Yes, they are. So many.
Yeah, Dolly, I don't know. I didn't spend any time in Sedona other than to play, so I didn't notice the snobbiness. But living there, it could be, I suppose. But it is a beautiful part of Arizona.
There are 4 of you YouTubers in your little county alone, Jay? I did not know that. Okay.
Wow.
And one of them in her church.
Oh, okay.
Tessa, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yep. Well, it's true. Missouri does have a lot of people who are homesteading and blogging about it, and a lot of great sharing. We'd
like to have a meetup here, but I know they were going to have one up at Jeanette's in June.
You know what?
But it's really going to be a hard one for us because we're at another conference.
So we've got 3 things the same day, so it's in different parts of the state.
Youth conference, that. So anyway, we'd love to have one here. Bring over our people from Oklahoma and Kansas and Missouri.
Yes.
So, and you should have a meetup. That's what I'm saying. We should have a meetup.
Yeah.
We cleaned out the barn.
Yes.
And we are getting ready to put stalls in it so we can have birthing stalls for the babies, for the moms of the babies.
Yes.
Yeah. Lorena, not a farm girl, living traditions and 100. Oh, okay. I knew that those were all there. I didn't realize you were all in the same county. Wow. There might be more. I believe there are more there. So.
Yeah, you're right, Dolly. It's tough to keep up with all of it. It's crazy.
It is so crazy. I can't believe how many new channels there are. And so I've been trying to support them. Are we learning how to read ligaments? I did have a friend point out to me on her goat, she was trying to get me to feel them. And so now I need to go and feel them on mine so that I understand. I'm not sure I read ligaments yet. And she does have a lot of experience from birthing, and so she said she's happy to come over.
It's like 10th to the 15th of April.
What is?
Jay is asking when we think the goats are going to kid. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. So. Francine, yes, we would love to have one like that too. So
where are you, Francine?
So
if you don't mind sharing.
When is the soonest due date? The 10th.
Yeah.
The 10th. And it's such bad timing for us. We still don't know what we're going to do because we're supposed to be in Oregon then. So, but there's no way we can leave them. We can't. So we've got to figure this one out.
Yeah. Yeah. Francine saying what she's saying, we, meet up something because really, there is, I think, we have mixed ages, so it's kind of hard to talk about it. But at the same time, I think the approach, what we're trying to accomplish as we're older and we're not creating a place for our children to be necessarily, it's a little different on what we're doing and how we're approaching it. So I think the kinds of topics, the kinds of things that we would be addressing, and that's really our focus is coming up with ways that we at our age can handle what a homestead requires you to handle.
Francine is in Chicago.
An urban homesteader.
I'm a wannabe.
Gotcha.
Oh, bless your heart.
Well,
we were wannabes for a long
yes.
time. I'm surprised how many people follow us who are wannabes. And some people that can't even hardly get off the couch and just live the homestead through us. It's very gratifying for us. Anyway, so that's okay. I want to tell a story. I may tell us on another video, but I realized it just yesterday and today. I have a very good friend in Pennsylvania. We used to live in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, just by the Poconos. And she was a school teacher and her husband taught at the university there. And we would take walks together in the morning. And she just lived on a normal street with a backyard that it kind of went through to the next street partway. And I watched her for all of these years. She's never moved, but she has turned her backyard into blueberry patches and gardens and orchard and everything that she could possibly do on her property to take advantage of growing. And I'm thinking, oh my word, Connie is a homesteader, and she was a homesteader long before I even thought about it. So that's really good. So what you writing?
Don't worry.
Oh, don't worry. Okay, how'd you find out about the factory chickens? Jim is answering you by his message. So there are people now selling some of those chickens for $8 and $12 a piece, which I would never pay that for those chickens because they've been so abused, I would say.
I don't know the details on, how they come up with them. But a lot of these factories, when the chickens get to be 15 months, 18 months, they cull them, especially those that don't look as well. I mean, they have them for eggs is what they have them for. And so they're not as productive. Their productivity drops from their 90% down to 70, or I don't know what their criteria is, but they're not as productive. So they get rid of them, and they will sell them to folks who come up and buy the whole bunch of them. And if they can't sell them that way, they ship them off to who knows where, and I don't know what all they do. I don't know the details, but we've run into a couple of different situations where people have acquired several hundred of them, and then they're selling them for $1.
You said he had 8,000. He had actually had 11,000 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Dolly does her backyard the way Connie does. And that's that's good. I mean, that's why we keep saying that homesteading is like a lifestyle. It's a mindset.
Use what you've got to get as much out of it as you can. Anyway, there are lots of places that have these chickens in these large buildings and keep them that way. There's a lot here in Missouri.
Oh, my word.
I think more than other places
where
we've been. So it's very plentiful. There may be other locations where there's little or none. So it's harder to come by them. But where they do exist, those places get rid of their chickens from time to time. So, if you have them in your area and you're looking to get older chickens that are inexpensive. You can talk to them and see how they dispose of them.
Our chickens that we got from them are so healthy and produce eggs almost every day. They produce eggs every day.
Yeah.
So,
you just have to look into it, Brenda. I don't know as you go further north if they have as many of these chicken factories. I think there's a little harder to do in the colder weather, but I don't know. But if they're around, they do go through chickens, and
yep.
So I hadn't realized that as an option to go look for them. But from our perspective, chicks normally cost. If you can get really cheap ones, you can get them for around $2 or so if you get a large enough quantity. And then you've got to feed them for 20 weeks or so before they can lay. So by the time they're laying eggs, you've invested a lot of time and money into them. So for us to go buy a chicken for $1 that's probably going to be laying, 3 or 4 or 5 eggs a week, that's a great deal. Because once we start them free ranging, our cost of feeding them is going to be very, very low, and we'll have lots of eggs.
Francine says, I'm planting a garden in our backyard. The old garden behind the garden will be perennials, and the lawn will be raised bed with vegetables and companion flowers.
I love it. That's the way you do it.
So good. Do we have an incubator? No, we do not. We, I think there's people that would loan us their incubator, but
yeah.
Oh yeah,
with Clay. That rooster, I think the time's coming.
Oh yeah, Clay. He's already trying. I saw him on one of the little ladies today. She wasn't none too happy. So.
Huh. Okay. Wow,
okay.
I'd never heard of that, Jay, about an underbite on chickens.
What is it?
Underbite. It got maimed a little bit. Yeah, North Carolina is another place with lots of chicken farms. So, but yeah, it's a great option for the. I mean, we're thinking of ourselves, obviously, but also of the chickens. I mean, what we're providing for them is going to be a better option than most of what they'd be faced with.
So one of our viewers this morning, I don't know, it may have been someone on here. I had to just laugh out loud because they said, here you are taking all of the bedding out of the chicken yard, just 4 things. He says, that's a lot of work, I know. And he says, I thought these chickens were supposed to help you so you didn't have to do work. But
we needed the exercise.
I was just shocked at how much was in there. I couldn't believe how much was in there.
What we had to decide was, as we were anticipating this, do we keep the current red stars that we had in that cage and not have to worry about cleaning it out, and then we have to get one other cage, get it moved where it needs to be, and get it put together. And it seemed like more work to do that than to clean this one out, move the red stars, and so that's what we have to do. I mean, anytime you bring an animal in, it's work. So you kind of got to weigh which work do you want to do, and that's what we did.
And I don't like keeping them in the chicken tractor right now, not letting them free range, but I know they have to stay there for a little while so that they get used to an area. And then we'll have them free range. Our underbite chicken Ethel is a red star. And the red stars are the ones that they use for the chicken factories. That's what they use. I'd never heard of a red star before I came here. So maybe you can renew your Delaware flock more healthy. Yeah.
There's a good question for you, Dolly. We haven't seen anything from Esther in a long time. Are they really busy? Is that what's going on? I know making videos can be a huge time taker.
She's so good at it. It'll happen.
Okay.
With her father's care.
That makes sense. That will do it.
Totally makes sense.
That explains it.
We've both been there before.
Yeah, I don't know how we would have done something like this when we were taking
care
of
parents. We wouldn't have. Especially because I was working...
Hit by a car. Really?
What? Oh, my word. So how bad is he? Okay, Brenda said our undercover. Full grown, maybe they had other problems. Sure.
Yeah, it can happen.
I am hot. Flashing. I guess. Woo!
I think it is warm in here. I think the temperature is changing. It's not as cold outside.
Finally
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody else have any? I do want to find out about, let's see. Family stuff always a priority. He broke his pelvis.
Whoa.
Oh, and had some other issues.
Oh, that's a tough one.
And he's not a young fellow. How old is he? So I had patients that had broke their pelvis, and that's really hard. But I also had them recuperate. Oh, I didn't know that he had been hit by a car. So glad to hear.
Yeah, Francine, that's probably one of the limitations. Although, you know, some people use different birds. The quail are a good option. They're not noisy like chickens. They lay smaller eggs. They need less space.
He's only 77. He'll recover well. He'll do really well. Jen, we are getting more pigs, but we are getting the American guinea hogs. We just found some on Craigslist for $40 each, the smaller ones. And that's what we want to do by putting them with these new chickens into the old pig area and let them dig it all up and cultivate it for us so that we can plant all of our sprawling garden in there with the, you know, the melons and the squash and all of the things that run all over the place. So
plus too, once that garden area is prepared by them, we're going to move them to another space where they can do the same thing there and get it ready for future gardening we'll be doing there.
And so we're getting the American guinea hogs because they are 100 pounds or more less than the ones we had, the red wattles, and we'll keep them for a longer period of time for working for us rather than eating. What? Let's see.
Well, Dolly, we're wishing the best for your dad. I know it can be rough with other things. I mean, a broken pelvis is hard, but with other things going on, that's hard.
Well, send them all our love. I have so many people I'm praying for.
Oh, no kidding.
Francine, can you have chickens in Chicago? I think they can be bribed to be quiet.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and close down. This has been a really long day for us, and we appreciate everybody and your comments. We need to just go and take some time off tonight, I think.
So. Well, some animals need put to bed.
Yep.
Give them
I've got to work
things
on tomorrow's video. I've put it together all day, and now I've got to edit it. And then...
Well, we appreciate your support and your love. It's fantastic. It's good to know that so many people are interested in the same things we are, that there's a lot of us attempting to homestead, feed ourselves right, and help other people in the process.
So they ask what Mike. Okay, so we'll pray for Mike.
Mike, okay.
All right. Good night,
Thanks.
everyone.
Take
Thank you
care,
so
everyone.
much. Stay warm.